Hi kids, welcome to Experiment and Discover, Miss Rosa's Little Science Corner. Since this week's topic is growing taller as a tree, we propose this wonderful experiment, bicolor flowers. To start, you must gather a few supplies. 4 glass cups. Narrow jars or vases work well too. Food coloring or liquid watercolors. 3 or 6 white flowers, a cutting board, a sharp knife. Let's start. 1. First, fill the 4 glasses with water and ask your kid to squeeze 30 drops of dye into each glass. You can make the first glass red, the second yellow, the third blue, and the final glass red again, in order to see if the primary color dye will mix in the petals to create a secondary color. 2. After trimming the flowers to fit in the glasses, very carefully cut the stems up to the center of the stem. This is easier said than done, so be careful when doing it. The thicker stems of the flower are the easiest to cut. And make sure not to cut much longer than the length of the glass. You don't want the stem that is out of the water to dry out and stop transporting water. 3. When the stems are cut, make your child gently place each flower into the dyes, putting one side of the stem in one cup and the other side into another cup. Now all you have to do is wait. Recommendation: start in the morning so you can observe the changes throughout the day. 4. Ask your kiddo to predict what is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen to the flower? Which do you think is the color that will be absorbed the first? It takes less than an hour to start seeing dye in the very tips of the petals. Several hours later, you can clearly see the colors, especially in the center. You will be pretty surprised at how quickly transpiration happens. 5. Remove the flowers so your kiddo can examine them. Ask him or her to tell you what things she or he noticed in the flowers with mixing colors. And this is how the magic behind bicolor flowers is revealed. Initially, plants drink water through their roots. Once inside the stem, tiny tubes called xylem that run up the stem transport the water to the plant's leaves and flowers. The water can travel up the xylem because of a few processes: transpiration, cohesion, and capillary action. Transpiration, or plant drinking, happens when water molecules evaporating from the plant's leaves and flowers pull other water molecules up to fill the empty space behind it. This is what happens when you suck on a straw, except in plants the evaporating water is providing the suction instead of your mouth. The pull or cohesion between water molecules happens because water molecules like to stick to each other and to the xylem. Capillary action, the ability of liquid to flow in narrow spaces against gravity, occurs in plants because water is attracted to the sides of the tiny straw, like xylem, into each other. By explaining the stem, we showed how the xylem run all the way from the bottom of the stem to the petals of the flowers. We wish to thank to Maria Hollowell and Play-Doh to Plato for making possible to perform this experiment. And this is it. See you next week for more in plantful science in Miss Rosa's Little Science Corner. Bye-bye!